Hi, welcome back to CodeChunks. Today I'm going to show you how to run and install JavaScript on your machine. This video is specific to Mac OS. So I'm going to show you how to install some various dependencies, and by various I mean just one, that's Xcode command line tools. Then I'll show you how to install Node, which is an environment that allows you to run JavaScript, and that's typically used on the server side to write server-side based JavaScript applications. Then I'll show you how to install and set up your IDE, which is your integrated development environment. In this case, it's going to be Visual Studio Code. And lastly, I'll show you some online alternatives. If you don't have access to your own computer, or you simply just don't want to install all of this on your machine, there's a couple of free online sources that you can use to write some JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. So let's get started. So there are other alternatives to the method I'm going to be showing you guys today. If you are on Windows, you can download the installer from the Node.js website. That's nodejs.org /en/download. And you can do the same thing on Mac, but I'm just showing you an alternative method. So let me just close this, okay? And what you want to first do is you want to open up your terminal, and you can easily access that by pressing Command space, and then you can type in terminal to search for terminal. And you can open the terminal, okay? And first thing is that you'll want to install Xcode tools, command line tools. And so a quick command to do that is this Xcode -select space -- install. And you can click on enter to run that. Here you'll see that it opens this window asking me that if I would like to install them now. I click on install. I have to accept this license. Okay, that's fine. I'm on battery, that's okay. And this is going to take some time, so I will come back once this is done. So I'm back and the software was successfully installed. So I can just click on done, and that's that. Now, the next step is that you'll want to, if you don't already have something called Brew installed on your machine, you'll want to install that. And you can quickly or easily do that by going to this URL, brew.sh, and I'll have all these links down below in the description. And you can simply copy this command and paste it into your terminal. Now, I already have this done, so I'm not going to paste that in, but it's pretty straightforward. You just paste it in and it'll run. Don't be intimidated. It's just a package manager, I guess you can say, to help you easily install tools on your machine. So once you have Brew installed, easy way to check if you have Brew installed, that you have it successfully installed, is that you can just type in brew-v into your terminal, and that should run, and it should print out your version. So right now you can see I'm on 2.0.2. But you don't have to be on the same version as me. That's just an example of what version I'm on. And then once you have Brew installed, you simply want to type in brew install node, and that will install Node. So Node is an environment that allows you to run JavaScript. And so Node is used on server side. So when you're developing or using JavaScript on the server side, but it also lets us just use JavaScript on our PC as well, or on your computer. You click on enter, that will run it. That's okay. Fix permissions by running. So if it shouts this out at you, you can simply just copy this and paste this in. And so here you can see that it's complaining because I already have Node installed on this machine. So when you run this on yours, you shouldn't see this error. And that's that. And you can just verify that you have Node installed by typing node-v, okay? And that will print out the version. So you can see here I'm on 11.10.0. And you can also type in npm-v, and that's the Node package manager that allows you to install packages or tools basically that you can use that are written in JavaScript for Node. Okay, so now that you have Node installed, you want to install an IDE. IDE is an integrated development environment. It's basically just a fancy text editor if you're not familiar with what an IDE is. And so for what I personally use is Visual Studio Code. So that's an IDE developed by Microsoft and it's free. There's a lot of plugins for it. You can use it for a multitude of languages, but the large majority of JavaScript developers, I guess, would say they prefer to use Visual Studio Code. And so you can access that by going to code.visualstudio.com and you can download uh, Visual Studio Code from here. So this will just take a second, I'll be back. Okay, so it's done downloading. So I just want to open this zip. It will unzip it real quick. And if you're familiar with macOS, this is the application here. Then you'll just want to drag it right into your application folder. Okay, so I already have it installed, so I'm not going to drag that in there. But you can drag it in and it'll drop into your applications folder, and that's that. So you can open up Visual Studio Code. So again, I brought this little menu up. If you don't already know how to access this, by pressing Command Space, and you can launch Visual Studio Code. Oops. Oh, nope, nope, no, no, no. Okay. And there you go. Visual Studio Code is now running, and now you have your integrated development environment set up. There's a bunch of plugins that you can install. It's mainly preference. There's themes, JavaScript plugins, and all that. Like, you can go crazy. There's a bunch of lists out there, and I'll try to link a couple down in the description that I like. Okay, so now if you don't have a Mac or you don't want to bother with installing an IDE and Node on your machine, if you're like on a school or public computer or something like that, there's a couple of online alternatives that you can use. And there are JSBin, so you can just code some HTML, CSS, and JavaScript right in your browser, and you can see the output. There's also Code Sandbox. Okay, so you can create accounts and you can save, I guess, your playgrounds, your sandboxes, so that way you can access them in the future. There's also JS Fiddle, there's Stack Blitz, and there's Code Anywhere. Now, I haven't used all of these, but some of them do allow you to have accounts and you can save them and access your applications or your code from anywhere in the world as long as you have internet access, of course. That's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But hopefully this video helped you out in setting up your environment. If not, also proposing some alternative online applications as well. Make sure to like and subscribe and leave any comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one.